What's up, guys? This is Team Wagy. I hope all you guys had a great 4th of July weekend. Me personally, I just stayed at home, didn't do anything. Can't waste money on fireworks because my boat, as you can see, it is gone out of the shop. It is at the mechanics right now, so I'm going to need every penny to pay him after he fixes it. I should be fishing right now, but as soon as that boat gets done, I'm going to be trying to make a bunch of videos on the water, catching a bunch of fish, hopefully. So we'll see. But now let's get into what you guys want to see, and that is the Rod and Reel Tour for 2019. Alright guys, so here it is. I have almost all of them laid out here on the front deck of my dad's boat. Gonna go over them. I've definitely grown in size on my combos from last time I made a video about them. They're not gonna be in any particular order, just left to right. And I believe that there's 17 combos here. I could be wrong. I have a reel actually upstairs, so like I said, I don't have all my reels on rods dedicated yet, but I have 15 of them, I believe, done. So now let's just get started. This rod here is going to be the Kistler Argon series rod, and it's a flipping and pitching series rod, but it is, I believe it's an extra heavy. It's a heavy fast, 7.5 heavy fast. So that's going to be my frog rod, and that's paired up with a Shimano Corrado E with, I believe, 65-pound braid. So hopefully when my boat gets done, I can crush a few on that, considering it's summertime here. This is going to be my flipping stick. I've had this one for a while. This is a Gary Loomis Edge First Strike. It's going to be a heavy fast as well, 7 foot 8 inch. And this rod, I love this handle on it. It's got that carbon fiber handle, and it's really slick. And that's going to be paired up with a Shimano Corrado 200XG reel, which the gear ratio on it, let me see here, it's going to be an 8.5. And the reason I like that is because flipping, when you're, I guess pitching, I should say, when you're pitching into cover and stuff, you want to get that bait as fast as possible back to you to make that next pitch. So I believe it saves a little bit of time. You also want to get it out of the fish out of the cover as quick as possible as well. So I just figured it'd be a great reel to pair up with a flipping, pitching setup. This right here, pretty sure you guys have seen this in almost every single rod and reel combo video I've ever done. This is going to be my spinnerbait combo. This is actually a G Loomis GL2 spinnerbait rod, as you can see there. And for some reason on the GL2s, they never put the lengths of the rods on them. I forget what this is. I think it's somewhere around a 7, but I'm not quite sure. Sorry, the line is stuck up there. I was trying to get it undone, but it's not going to happen. This is a Shimano Chronarch 200E7. This right here, probably one of my favorite reels of all time. Of course, it's almost identical to the Corrado 200Es. One of the main differences being the plastic drag versus metal. And I believe I have 4 of those, and I do love those. Don't get me wrong, the Corrado Ks are nice, and they are smooth, but that's just one of the reels I started on, so I kind of have a bias towards it. Next setup we're going to have is going to be my topwater popper setup. I just used this the other day. Didn't catch any fish on it, but it really worked good for throwing it. This is an A Rod Smith's Tournament Series rod. And let's see if we can find what action and stuff it is. It's going to be a 7 foot medium light, so it's perfect for working a popper. That's going to be paired up with a Shimano Chronarch 200E7 as well. Love that reel. I forget the line. I believe it's some sort of mono, but I've spooled it up a long time ago and I forgot to write it down. This right here is my cranking setup. As you can see, I have a 10XD on there. Haven't used this combo yet. It's going to be a Mojo Bass glass rod, And let's see if I can find the length in action on it. It's a 7.4 medium power, moderate action. It's a little light for throwing a 10XD, but I threw it around the yard down there a little bit, and it handled it pretty well. I'm really surprised with this reel. This is a Lew's Speed Spool Super Duty. I forget the gear ratio. Let's see if I can find it. 6.4 to 1 gear ratio on that reel. And it threw that thing really, really well. And the handles on it, I think I'm really going to like it for the cranking aspect. This rod and reel I've had paired up for a while. Caught plenty of fish on it. A few catfish on it as well. This is going to be the Carolina rig rod. And the rod is going to be an All-Star T38X 846C series. It's going to be a 7-foot rod. This is specifically a Carolina rig rod. I wish it was the 7'6" version. They have a Carolina rig rod just like this. These obviously they don't make these anymore. This is an old rod, but I bought it used. I just wish I had the version that was 6 inches longer. Again, paired up with a Shimano Chronarch 287. Pretty sure probably some 20-pound fluoro on there. That's usually my go-to for line. I know it's a little bit heavier than what most people throw, but I have no problems casting it, so I just figure go heavier. This is going to be my rattle trap combo. This is a St. Croix Mojo Bass spinnerbait rod, actually. I was watching some videos from Ken Smith, and I believe he was interviewing Dickie Newberry, and he talked about rattle trap rods, and he said you want sort of a heavier rod to rip it out of the grass. Before that, I was actually using the rod that's with this 10XD, the crankster, and I noticed it was a lot harder to rip it out of grass than using a rod like this. So this does help if you're fishing in hydrilla, big time. And as far as setting the hook goes, I know it's on a glass rod. You usually want a glass rod for treble hook baits. I just don't set the hook as hard, and that tends to help me out from ripping the lure out of their mouth. Next rod here, this is a favorite. I believe it's the Defender Lunkers TV edition. I didn't buy this new. I actually bought it from a buddy. And I have that paired up with a swim jig. That's going to be my swim jig rod. I forget the action. I think it's like a 7-foot medium heavy. Something basic. Yeah, 7-foot medium heavy. Perfect for a little lightweight swim jig. This swim jig, it's a Sandtone. I believe it's the Rayburn one. I forget. And that's going to be paired up with a Reaction Innovations Little Dipper. And that is a deadly combo for me. This next rod here I don't have spooled up yet. I believe I plan on using it for square bills. So this is going to be a Castaway XP3 series, a spinnerbait medium. So I believe it's like a 7-foot medium rod, 6'10" medium. And I believe that's going to work good for throwing a square bill. Again, Shimano Chronarch 287. That's going to be the last one in the set. This rod here, right now, I believe I have it rigged up for Texas rig. It's actually not rigged up right now. This is the reel. If you haven't watched the previous videos, this is the reel I souped up. So I put this Hogtech handle on here with these wind grips, and they are super nice. And that handle's also nice and big. And I also did ceramic bearings in them. Let me go ahead and spin this spool just with one finger. You can obviously see how long that's spinning for. I don't know if I have any brakes on. I don't think I did last time I checked, but I'm not going to open it up to find out. It spins a whole lot more than stock bearings, that's for sure. This rod here, this is going to be my deep jig rod when I'm fishing, stuff 15 foot of water and lower. It's going to be an Abu Garcia Veritas rod, a 711 heavy. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know I've had these rods pretty much since the beginning. And then this is going to be a Corrado K 200 HG, which I believe is a 7.4 to 1 gear ratio. Yes. And that's going to be a killer combo. Of course, 20-pound fluoro on that as well, I believe. This rod and reel right here is going to be for jerk baits, I believe. This is going to be a Chronarch MGL 150 HG. This was one of the first, I think it's probably the highest end reel I have, minus the one I souped up. I'd say they're about even. and I believe it's around 280 bucks, and this reel is killer for casting. I absolutely love it. And this rod, it's a Castaway rod, and I bought it from a small tackle shop down in Jasper, and it had a problem where the guides, I think I've talked about it before, but the guides, the epoxy and all, would just come loose from the blank in one piece. It was almost as if, you know, they wrapped it, but someone had sprayed cooking oil on the blank or something so that it wouldn't actually adhere to it. So I sent it back to them, and they redid all the guides for me. I had to pay shipping both ways, which I think is kind of lame because that was more of a warranty issue. But I'm just happy I got this rod back. It's a Castaway skeleton, and it's called the Long Range Launcher. Let's see here. It's a 7'6", and the tip is pretty soft. So I think it's going to be perfect for rip and jerk baits. It's also, I wanted one that was really long, because sometimes when you're chasing schooling fish, that extra tip is going to give you that ability to cast all the way to them. This rod here is going to be my chatterbait setup. This is also a Castaway, heavy action. I wanted it more heavy to be able to rip the chatterbait through different grass that I throw it in, because that's my favorite way to fish one. This is going to be a Corrado K 200 HG. And again, 20-pound fluoro. That's kind of my go-to. This rod here I just got. It is a St. Croix Legend Tournament. Really pretty rod. Not spooled up yet, but that's going to be a Corrado K 200 HG as well. Not spooled up. It's going to be my spook rod. So anytime I'm throwing a spook. And last but not least, within the lineup, the forgotten but needed spinning combo. This is going to be paired up with a Shimano Stratic. I believe it's a 2500. And I absolutely love this reel. So smooth. As far as best bang for the buck, I think that's going to be it. And this is going to be paired up with a G Loomis GL2 rod. And here, some of the stuff you can use it for. Lightweight stuff. I use it for this Wacky rig here and drop shot, and I like it just fine for that kind of stuff. These rods over here are kind of left over. So this is that Mitchell that I won from Hat Cam Bass. Hey, if you're still watching, man, leave me a comment down below. I still love seeing your stuff. And this is going to be paired up with an All-Star drop shot rod. That's what I was using with this reel just before I got this rod. And then this combo here, it's not set up really for anything yet, but it's a Lew's speed spool. It's the really nice one with the wind grips. And I believe it has that little flip out lure holder, which is kind of neat. I mean, I usually just hook the lure either to the rod hook holder, and if they don't have that, then I just hook it up here. But guys, that is the whole setup. One reel I am leaving out. I think I have a Corrado 200i, and I need an A-rig combo, I know that, but I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to use the other reel for. So guys, I know I look like a sweaty mess. This shop is not air conditioned, so anytime I come out here to make a video, I'm just going to be sweating. And I hope I don't have to make too many more videos here, because I know some of you guys made it to the end, but I can guarantee half of you guys probably checked out within the first 5 minutes of this video, because it's kind of boring watching this kind of stuff. I mean, if you really like tackle and stuff, I'm sure you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit the like button and comment down below and tell me you liked it. But I know a lot of guys, they like to see, you know, the action, going out there, catching fish. And that's what I'm trying to gear up for. That's why I'm trying to get the boat done. Expect to see a boat, carpet, and seats video. I believe that video is going to be really, really good. Sometime late September, I should be ordering the carpet and stuff like that to do it. And I should be making a bunch of series of videos on how to do that. But if you guys are still watching right now, you are the guys that I want watching this channel. So please leave a comment. Tell me any videos you want to see. And thanks for watching. And remember, no one said winning is easy. Thanks, guys.